Awesome. So welcome everybody. So good to have you here, and I'm really honored to be here with you for the next hour. So my name is Karin Courtnay. I'll let you know a little bit about like who I am and what I do in a moment. But first of all, what is gonna happen here, like topic-wise? So it's about communication strategies in the choral field. So what does that mean, or what's like the main question that I'm trying to pursue with you guys for the next hour is like, how do you get people to join a choir in the 21st century, especially ones that haven't spent the last years doing awesome vocal music already with others, but who like maybe could be future choir singers. How do I reach them? Where do I reach them? And all those questions a little bit around that. And it's of course really interesting to me, for me to know like who is a choral conductor in here. Okay, most of you, awesome. So I will kind of like focus on choirs, obviously, but there will definitely be interesting parts for you if you're like an artist trying to do a little bit around like spreading your name, kind of like getting yourself out there in the world and say, hi, I exist. So that might be also very interesting for those folks. All right, so a little bit about me, and that probably makes the whole topic a little more approachable right away. It's like, I am a pedagogue, so I studied music education and was a flutist for a long time, and mathematics, so I'm coming from a general music field with like flute and piano and voice as my main subjects. I never studied marketing, I have no idea about any technical stuff, and still it ended up being the topic I talk a little bit about today. So just so you know, I came from the pure musical world without any, like business or whatever background. But still, it's part of our lives, and I will come to that. So after working at a middle and high school as a music and mathematics teacher, I started working in the symphonic choir department. So I worked with choirs who would perform the big stuff with orchestras later on, like Beethoven 9 and Carmine Burana and so on. And then the colleague at the university department for pop choirs went on maternity leave, and my chef, like my boss, decided, you're the youngest in the team, you do now the pop choir. So I was like, okay. And then I dug deeper into like pop, jazz, choral music, and did the education at Drama in Denmark and also at Codarts in the Netherlands, and kind of ended up there. Long story short, what happened is that now I'm a full-time pop and jazz choral conductor working with the choir platform that I founded, which is called Voice, Vienna Pop and Jazz Choir Experience. And that project turned out like a very surprising journey. So maybe you guys came across this logo somewhere before. So this is what I do. I'm based in Vienna, in Austria, and in 2019, I thought, okay, I want to do my own group, so not be hired as a conductor by others, but like kind of start my own project. And basically, I just wanted to have like my own fun choir. And then so many people signed up, and I was like, okay, maybe let's do 2 groups, an advanced and a like just for fun, easygoing group. And this project, long story short, 5 years later, turned out to this year. So we have about 750 active singers. I think in the last 5 years, it was probably around 1,500. And we have various choirs. In total, we have like 8 concert choirs and some open singing formats, which like are just like come and sing and have a good time. No stress about any concerts or performances. And we have an academy that offers like workshops on, I don't know, beatboxing and voice training and all kinds of related subjects. And we also have a lot of like social activities. So I just came back from a full week of singing and long nights with campfires, which you can hear. And so we're doing like all kind of social stuff with our groups. And we do a lot of concerts ourselves, which is also a topic that I got asked to talk about tonight. A little bit about like what concerts formats could be very interesting nowadays, how do we promote them, how do we get people to come to a choral concert, especially maybe the ones who are not already choir fans and maybe singing themselves, but like all the others out there. And so we do a lot of huge events ourselves. I would say about 5 to 6 concerts a year, where I do everything from I just booked a venue to ticketing to promoting it, and in general we have about 500 to 1,500 people in the audience, and so far everything was sold out. I didn't know anything about it, but somehow the things we are doing must work, and I will share everything with you. Obviously, a lot of the journey we had is also pure luck probably and coincidences, but not everything. And everything I know that is not just pure luck, I will put in this room in the next 15 minutes, all right? So our social media is probably where you might have seen that logo before, because that kind of got a little overboard. So on Instagram, we currently have over 500,000 followers, and we started like 5 years ago. And I'll talk a little bit about that. And on our TikTok, we have 215,000 followers. And our concerts look kind of like that. So they are like big kind of venues, and we try to give it, you know, like a 21st century pop and rock concert vibe. And that's kind of a little bit the goal that we pursue, and we'll try to push further and further and see where we land and where we can take choir in the 21st century, and how we can motivate young and old and people from all kind of backgrounds to, you know, think, oh, I need some singing together with others at least once a week. So the main question we will work on is this one. Why do people join a choir? So if you guys ever joined a choir, you can ask yourself, what was this very first spark, why I ended up going there? It might be long back in history or just shortly, but maybe think about it. What was the first initial spark that got you like, okay, I might join a choir? So this first spark typically is like something like, I don't know, my best friend told me this is so cool, you should join, or I don't know, we sang a lot in kindergarten and elementary school, so I just kept singing because I had a super fun teacher and it was really cool, or I don't know, you live in a small village and you could choose between, I don't know, in Austria, the typical career would be either soccer or the firefighters or the church choir. So you could choose between those three to be like socially part of the neighborhood, whatever it might be. This like first spark is something like very individual. Typically, everybody has his own story. And it's kind of like a little hard to, you know, like influence that. But if you look from this idea, from this first spark of, hey, maybe I should or could sing with others on a regular basis, to I actually join a group, might it be a choir, a vocal ensemble, or just decide to go for singing training on an individual basis, there are steps in between where we actually can do something. So if somebody decides, hey, I want to sing with others, he or she obviously has to do the next step, is like, who do I sing with? So at that moment, he or she probably goes on the internet or whatever, or thinks about like what group have I seen or heard before about or something. So just find a group. There it really helps if you're like visible and present out there. And then the person thinks maybe like, that's a cool group, looks like fun. Maybe I should try, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know anybody there. That's intimidating. Oh my God, they have auditions. So they're then still like from knowing a group that would be interesting to really actually deciding to, oh, I gotta sign up for that, is quite another step that we actually have a lot of influence on to make it our group. And then they show up for this like very first evening, and they're like, okay, my first ever evening with this group, hopefully it's cool, But then to get them to actually stay in the group is also something that we actually have a big influence on. And so those 3 steps after this first spark are the ones that I would like to talk about. And I hope it's something inspiring and interesting for you. Not everybody here is a choral conductor, but like I said, if you are an artist or like a singer, whatever yourself, then it's still very helpful to spread the word about yourself, I think. Okay, so, yes, I haven't lost my whole plan yet, that's good. So let's start talking a little bit about this, like find a group. So guys, imagine you decide, I want to sing a new vocal ensemble or choir. What do you do? That's the point where you talk as well.
Ask my friends, maybe.
Ask friends.
Checking social medias and...
Social medias, what else?
Google.
Google, best friend of everybody. ChatGPT, yeah, that's actually became a new friend. Yeah, anything else? Maybe on a more like local basis, maybe there are also like newspapers or something that show like what activities you can do in this area. So maybe if you're a student, move to a new town, there's something that says like, hey, for Erasmus or whatever, these are cool options for you. But yeah, basically, you guys covered it. So, okay, if we talk about all the things a little bit, we end up with these 4 things that are essential. Like visibility is the first, you gotta show up there. If you're on Google page 7, who has ever honestly made it to page 7 in a Google search? And so on. So visibility, a little bit about like where do you show up, where, on which platforms are you even and stuff. And then online presentation and information access, like how does your profile look there? And how informative is it also? Like how easy is it for you to like immediately get like the most essential, questions answered? Because if you have to go to 7 subpages to find out on what day they even rehearse, then you're like a little over it probably already. Then the easy registration process, it's really fun because I wasn't aware of that. But what I did is, after I knew that I would be coming here, I used the last month to ask all my choir singers, especially the guys, what were the most important things for you that you ended up, number 1, actually joining a choir, and number B, ending up in my group or like in my choir platform. And they said actually that the way how do I sign up was quite essential for them. So that was really cool because I learned something new as well. And the tryout options. Everybody wants to try without any commitment. We all know in 21st century, nobody wants to sign up for anything. So that's also a little bit something to talk about. All right. So, and there we dive in. Visibility. So I did a little bit of research for you and Googled my own platform. I Googled it first in German and we're only number 3. Then I Googled it in English and it was number 1, so I put up the English version. What do you look for on Google? Just like who shows up and how are the reviews. So for example, at the end of each semester I ask my singers, hey, if you were really happy, because they always send me this like amazing, cute WhatsApp messages that I read once and then they evaporate in the depths of my WhatsApp chats. And I was like, would you maybe put it on Google too? And if you have any issues that you think we could improve on also, let's find time to talk about it and come up with ways that we can actually develop further. And that works really great, so I'm very happy about our Google thing. I never did any SEO, whatever all those technical terms are about what you can do. It's really just about trying your best a little bit to exist there, and it's really easy. Like literally all we do is like ask our singers to here and there write a review and try to keep it updated with like the address and a contact, and that's it. And then over time it develops. What we also do is super simple is, for example, when you want to buy concert tickets, so everything happens through our homepage, like the links on the homepage, so everybody who wants to has anything to do with us ends up at least 1 click on our homepage, which also helps the homepage. Okay, but otherwise, I have absolutely no idea. I have 2 fantastic singers in my group who have a little bit of knowledge about, updating photos and stuff, and I tell them, hey, you do this, and then you change the information. But that's not a work of art, it's just like updating. Okay, so let's talk about probably like the most important part, online presentation and information access. So you guys ask your friends or Google or ChatGPT and found out about this group which is called like Amazing Choir. So if you now hop on their homepage, what are the things that you would love to see and know about them?
Who's conducting?
Who's conducting, and what is important about that? Like, what do you want to see? Just a name or?
Yes, the name, if I know him, and then I search for the program, what kind of repertoire they have, because it's all connected with the conductor usually.
Right, so again, if you don't know the conductor, what would you do next? Because you still have no idea, is that a nice person or
Is it fun?
A photo is nice.
Just a recording from a
A
live.
video is better, right? Because in a video you already get like a little more idea, like how does this person act. Like if you have this like amazing business profile picture, then okay, everybody has a business photo somewhere. That doesn't necessarily really tell me much about the person. Awesome. Then we had a little bit repertoire. Yes, not only repertoire, but when you say program, what else is interesting besides just repertoire?
Maybe the genre, more specific, less specific, just so we know.
Yeah, a little bit genre. Doesn't have to be exact pieces, but also what else? What do you practice all that for?
Concerts.
You probably want to know, are there concerts? Are there any activities? Are there any, I don't know. Is it a group that sees each other like once a month on a weekend? Do we have to reserve weekends? That's like essential questions actually that you ask yourself. Okay, so we have repertoire a little bit, we have the conductor. Anything else that you would like to know?
Age of the singer.
Yeah, you would like to have an idea of like who's in that group, right? Okay. What else?
What are their costumes, dresses? I actually not gone for a choir because I didn't like the dresses the women were wearing.
Yeah, okay, concert outfits, I love that. That's a new aspect. Yeah, like what do they do in concert? Who's in there? What do they look like? Maybe artistically more important also. I don't know if I'm good enough. What level are they on? Like, what are the expectations? What are things that could be interesting? Let's say, like, I love singing under the shower, and maybe a choir is cool, but I don't know if I can do it. And I can't read sheet music neither. Maybe I shouldn't sign up for a choir. So, about the level, like, maybe do I have to read sheet music even, or is it just my assumption? That's a good question. Do we have to perform in concerts or not? I don't know, like, am I expected to learn music myself, or do I just walk there and we all study the notes together? Stuff like that is actually quite nice to know, because otherwise it's too intimidating from the very beginning on. So I will show you a little bit how we do that. So the online presentation, where you get all those questions answered that we just brainstormed together, are basically the homepage, social media, maybe YouTube and Google, right? So on our homepage, and it's funny because I wasn't aware of anything I'm talking here right now until I asked all my choir members over the last 2 months, because I knew I would be talking to you guys. So I'm actually mega thankful about this, because I was not aware, it just happened. But on our homepage, there is, because we have multiple choirs, I put a video there that explains, like, this group is for da-da-da target group, and this group is focusing on da-da-da. And this group is that advanced, and you should practice your songs half an hour per week, and then you get a little homework. And this group actually is like mega ambitious, and you should have prior experience in blah, 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 blah. So I have this like video, and then, yeah, it seems that this video is not so popular for what I talk about actually, because you can read about all that on each choir subpage. but because people experience who I am as a person. So they typically watch the first 20 seconds and think, oh, she looks nice and easygoing, and then they are done with the video. I was doing the video about 50 times until I got everything perfectly in content. Nobody cares about the content because they are just so thankful that there is a video of the conductor and not a picture. I was like, oh, wow, next time I don't even have to update it because nobody makes it further than 20 seconds. Yeah, well, so we have multiple groups. Maybe that's actually interesting for you real quick. Wait, do I have that anywhere? No. So here you see some lips. So voice, we do have like 8 concert choirs, just so you have a little bit of an idea about what happened. So I started with those 2 choirs. There was like one like just for fun group and one more like ambitious group with auditions and stuff. And then a colleague of mine was like, oh, I would love to do a choir, but I can't run it like herself. She needed actually a group to practice. She was a conducting colleague of mine. And so like, let's have a little group for you to practice. She's like, can I do it in English? Or do it in English. And then she started like 15 people in international group. And that's now our international choir with 90 people. And then I got so many like female registrations and not enough guys, and so I was like, I don't want to tell them all that they cannot sing. That's super sad. There are 50 girls who want to sing. Let's do a girls group. And then we started a girls group, and actually they are really focusing on R&B and hip hop, and they are actually one of our most groovy and popular groups. That's really cool. And then I got so many emails that were like, oh, I'm like 50 and I love your vibe, but they are all too young for me. I don't want to. I'm not feeling like confident singing with them. And so after enough emails of that, I was like, we should do a group that focuses. And I don't know the current songs, and so I was like, we should do a group that focuses on 70s, 80s, 90s. So like the pop and rock legends of music, and so they are our voice legends and are like 40 plus, I would say. And then my singers came, because we did like a Disney song in one group, and they were like, can we do more Disney? I'm like, this is not a Disney choir, so no, maybe in a year again, we cannot. And I'm like, can we have a group that does only Disney? And I was like, we cannot find a Disney choir, because it's a brainstorm. Like, okay, but maybe a movies and musical choir. That was a year ago. And then they talked me into it so much, they were like, can we also have a really advanced Disney choir? And I was like, I don't know, one is enough. And then, okay, let's have a movies and musical choir in autumn. And then 150 people signed up. And like, this is not one choir. And so now we have 2 movies and musical choirs. And I never even planned, I never even had the idea, but it happened. And so that's what we have. And now we also have a youth choir, which is 11 to 18, because so many singers have kids that they would love to experience choir too. So everything kind of just happened. And yeah, so I'll show you one subpage. But just so you know why there are so many groups. And that's, I think, very interesting for you too.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, of course.
Who conducts all these groups?
I'm doing 3 groups, and the rest are like, I have colleagues who run each one group. So we are 7 conductors in total, 7 or 8 here. I know it's German, so I will just show you the structure. I think that's a little bit more important or interesting. So here it's a little bit like what this group is about, what is this group's goal, and it kind of sets a little bit the mindset. So this says we're an advanced group and we focus on a cappella, for example, music only. We are also not only doing pop, but also jazz. So it's a little bit about all the hard facts, but this I think is very essential, and I also wasn't aware about it because it says exactly what is planned for the next half a year. So it says, we have a rehearsal weekend on these and these dates. We have a concert here and there on that date. And we are doing those fun social group activities. And I wasn't aware that people, before even signing up for a group, are so interested in those things. But I think over 60% of the people that I asked why they chose this choir mentioned that part. So, and I understand, because if you sign up, I don't know, for a fitness center, you also want to know like what exactly you get. And if you sign up for an artistic group, it's also interesting, like what is waiting for me within the next few months. it's like if you're an artist posting your next tour dates for your next half a year and always having those updated on your homepage. That's just like, what are you doing with your time? And yeah, when do we rehearse? Where do we rehearse? Which freie Plätze, which empty spots do we have? And they actually pay a fee per semester, so for half a year, for 165 normal pricing and 135 for students or people who maybe are in financial trouble. This group is a little bit more expensive because they are doing even more now, the traveling and so on. And so I think that's something I would absolutely recommend everybody. And then I wasn't aware of that neither. It says like what we offer, and that clearly explains like what is the money used for. Like we do concerts with professional light and sound engineering and blah 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 blah. We'll talk about that, and also what das solltest du mitbringen is like what should you bring as a background or musical knowledge. Like should you be able to read sheet music? It typically says no need to read sheet music because we have audio files that you can listen to. And that's something that I hear so often, even from some of my best singers I have, is that they chose that group because they didn't need to read sheet music. I was like, oh. And then a little bit about the commitment, like do they have to join every rehearsal or some rehearsals, or is it, we also have very open formats where it says like it doesn't matter if you can make it every week because we are not continuously working on the same songs or so. And yeah, we do one travel per year and blah, blah, blah. And you practice 2 to 3 hours a week by yourself. That's my most advanced group. That's not normal. They are real crazy nerds. I love them. I'm like, who's signing up for a hobby where you know you won't have any other hobbies anymore? Like, and then the interesting part is this thing down there. That's also something very, very helpful for if you have a choir, but also if you're a singer or a musician who wants to spread your word. Have a playlist ready that is your best of to represent your group. And maybe implement it into your homepage or have a link ready to go. So for example, I have this playlist here, like if you click on that, you will see like the top 5 performances of exactly that group. If you go to our girls group, you will see the top 5 performances of the girls group. And it's really cool because it's videos that are live, all are live. I actually heard that is super helpful because it gives you an impression how the real life is, you know, not any mega, I don't know, edited or music video stuff, but like them in a concert performance, like what do I expect level-wise? And yeah, you can see that for each group, and that's really cool because that's exactly what you said, like who is in the group, what do they wear in concert, how's the vibe in there, because if you see a video, honestly, after 10 seconds, you know, are they having fun? And so put your 5 coolest and funnest and, you know, best atmosphere videos in a playlist and share that link whenever you want to spread the word. It says so much more than just the description. So yeah, that's really nice. For example, if you hop on a movies and musical choir, you see a concert from a movies and musical choir, and here you see, oh, okay, they're doing Phantom of the Opera, they're doing Barbie and Ken mashup, they did James Bond, they did Part of Your World, they did Joyful, Joyful, Sister Act 2, I'll Never Love Again, Star is Born. Oh, okay, so it's really a mix of movies, musicals, okay, kind of, this is what to expect. And then you can see the people, and you can see what style of concert, and you get a pretty good idea of what you're signing up for. And ta-ta, I mentioned it, auditions. So that's if you do have a group that has auditions, my bestest advice is put up a video that explains exactly what an audition looks like, that you explain yourself. Because I have so many people who are like, I never wanted to be in an audition choir and da-da-da. But then I watched the video and I was like, actually it's not so hard, I can sing this exercise. And okay, she's actually not so scary. I can try, and if I don't like it, I'll just never see her again. And so to have on the homepage a link to a video where I explain about that, that's incredibly helpful. All right, that basically was the essentials of our homepage. I guess The rest is super standard, like, you know, concert dates and the team, for example, that's maybe nice to see. Sorry, so the homepage is like that. It's not a professional, super crazy homepage. It's like I asked some friends and we put it up homepage. But here we have like our choirs and the academy bookers, and then in the About Us section, we have for example, the team, and you can see everybody who you might be working with. So you get an idea, oh, what do those people look like? You can read about everybody. So that's also really nice when you walk in and have some faces. And we got the homepage in English too. I don't know why I got it. No, that is actually the English version. All right, so that was the homepage part. Do you have any questions, ideas, comments? Go ahead.
Are the rehearsals in English or there are English groups separate?
Yeah, we have two groups that are in English language. We have one concert choir that is conducted in English and run in English and also communicated everything in English. And we have one, it's called Sing Sessions. It's like just 90 minutes in the evening after work, and they are just doing all the time new songs. They don't aim for concerts. It's just like, come in and enjoy 90 minutes of singing. And there also we have one group that is run in English. Yeah. Any other questions?
Do the singers come from the whole country or only from Vienna?
We have literally all kinds of people. We have a lot of students who just study in Vienna and then leave again when they are done with their studies from somewhere else in Austria, also other countries. It's really a complete mix. Yeah. Who has a homepage for either yourself or your group? Okay, so that hopefully was maybe a little bit inspiring or interesting. You look either completely tired or the oxygen level in here is just super low, or you're thinking, what can I do? What can I do? Yes?
I have one controversial idea about homepages these days, maybe only in Estonia. Actually, your homepage was perfect, it was very informative, it was very cool experience. But otherwise, if people are not so eager to make a homepage, then good social media, even good Instagram page is enough. If you are dealing with people who are 20, it's enough.
Yeah.
They don't even think about there is homepage somewhere.
Yeah, we try to, like cover all age groups, so we do have one, and it's there.
And that was very cool.
I actually, that's maybe a fun fact, but very interesting one, because I asked you guys if you have a homepage, you put so much pressure on yourself. Oh my God, my homepage. And I got most often the comment, I like that your homepage is not too professional. So I assumed if I'm not super professional as a singer, I might fit there. Like it looks a little bit like nice, but a little bit, homemade. Like if you are an IT person, it's just like WordPress randomness. And people like that. So if your homepage isn't perfect, embrace it. It might be awesome. Okay, so any other comments about homepage, or are we coming to the 21st century mega social media topic? It's actually a kind of fast one, I think. All right, so let's check that out. I know everybody wants to know how you get 500,000 followers. Honestly, I can't tell you. I can tell you what we did, and the rest, the part with the luck, just happened. So, oh, you don't see it. Sorry. No? Yes. Awesome. So, we have this Instagram, and the person running our social media is absolutely not a social media professional. Dani is just an enthusiastic singer who likes social media more than me because I hate it. My personal profile is a catastrophe. My last post was about 2 years ago, I think. So she was like, yeah, I can do that. And the only thing that we decided is we tried to put a story every day and a reel every other day. And that's what we did for 5 years. No matter what, There was not a single time when we didn't, even during COVID. I mean, it's easy for us because we have so many groups to have enough content and enough different songs. But it's really just about being there and repeatedly showing up. You know, you put a story and there you go again. You put a story and there you go again. It's really just about keeping going. Another thing that I think is really actually nice is that we have a lot of diversity in our content. Like there is rehearsals, the good stuff, and the complete failures. There is like, this didn't work out too great, and then you hear us like just singing like I remember we tried to yodel once because we needed for a booking and it was just so bad. And it went viral just because it was so bad. So sometimes that's what you need too. So there's fun stuff, there's rehearsal stuff, there's concert stuff, there are collaborations. You see like there's a little bit of concert summary. That's from a project, that's just from a rehearsal. It's in a stairwell, that was nice. That's a choreography rehearsal. That's a YouTube release. And so there's a complete mix, but what is, I think, really good about it is it's all just, you know, a phone and real life. There's no complicated videos where you cut them for 2 hours in your living room and think like, oh my God. There is no like, which music do I put there and where do I make this cut? It's all just like, grab your phone. That was an awesome moment in rehearsal. Cool, we'll post it sometime. And there is like, I don't know, campfire moments, and there is like before we walk on stage moments, but it's all literally just somebody grabs a phone and takes a video. And I think that's actually what people love so much about it, because it's real life. You see the people, you see the faces, you get an idea what it feels like, and people can relate to it, even if you are not like a choir trying to show what you do, but if you're an artist yourself or a singer trying to get yourself out, the people want to experience you, how you are as a person, what atmosphere you create in interacting with others. And so, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff there, but it's really just phone and go. And that's we did for 5 years, and then something went viral, and then we had 100,000, and then something else. It's random. And for example, we had a video, we had a song, it's called Believer. I don't know if you came across that, with body percussion. And anyways, we had it posted like 5 times already in really good versions, you know, in a good concert, in nice outfits. And number 6, then half a year later, was we didn't have any content anymore, and so she put out a actually semi-great rehearsal video in a really ugly room, and the exact same music from the exact same group, and it went viral. And we were like, the worst ever, you know, like version, like we're singing better than it, and that worked. And we were like, why? What was different like the last 5 times? But what all those algorithms do recognize is if you are continuously doing your work. They know if you're having a lot of cuts and edited stuff, like videos where we add anything written. We do that very rarely. We do it only for concert announcements, and they typically suck. The stuff that is completely unedited, no cuts, no like where you write anything in there, those are the best ones. If you write something in there or edit it in any way, it's not the same. And somehow it gets it. That's the only thing we know. Otherwise, it's a mystery. And on TikTok, maybe that's also a little interesting, we post a lot of same stuff, but not only. Like we try to be, you know, like efficient. Like you don't want to like put different stuff on all the canals, otherwise you spend your whole life with just deciding what to put where. But we try to not do the same, because otherwise, honestly, if you know from an artist that you see the same thing on every platform, then you don't even look at his or her profile anymore on the other platform, because you know already it's the same anyways. So we try to do a little bit of different stuff, but basically it's the same. Grab your phone and capture funny moments and see what happens. Yep, And on YouTube, maybe, because I'm not sure if you all know, but who knows about YouTube Shorts? Yes, it has arrived. I'll show you that. So YouTube was famous for their long concert videos, right? Like these ones. And then you see like a whole performance. But there is this one here, it's called Shorts. It's basically more or less the same as Instagram and TikTok. And we thought we don't need that. And then we're like, just post the same stuff and maybe it's different people. Because we see that on Instagram we are much more international than on YouTube, where we are much more from like German and Austrian, Swiss accounts and stuff. So we thought, maybe different people see it. And actually those YouTube Shorts really helped us to grow. So if you have a different audience on different canals, you can put the same stuff out there because it will end up reaching different people. If you have the same audience on different canals, then try to put at least a little bit of different stuff maybe there to not like bother them in mid and feel, oh, this came again. Yeah. So yes, we do have an insane amount of followers, but this is all I could tell you about it actually. But maybe you have interesting questions that maybe, give me a little bit more ideas. Yeah?
What about personal data protection? Do your singers give your consent to be on social media?
Yes, when they sign up. Yeah, they do. Oh yeah. The data security and how to, yes, we are trying to follow all the guidelines that change every half a year, but yes, we do that, yeah.
I don't do our social media, but our person who does has trouble putting anything with singing in our reels because it gets a copyright notice and it gets taken down. Does that happen? I don't know if that's North America specific, but
I think there was actually a copyright workshop, or I think it's tomorrow. I really want to go there.
Yeah.
So on YouTube, so the trouble I think starts extremely when you're making money with it, which we don't. On YouTube, it's so. On Instagram and TikTok, it doesn't matter. We
get flagged all the time on Instagram. It's interesting.
Yeah. So we always mention, or try to mention the original artists and stuff, and be as complete in the information flow and not very informative, like a platform. On YouTube, so we do have enough followers to monetize YouTube, but what it automatically does a copyright check, and if it's not your original art or your original music, then it automatically flags it, and you get a super tiny percentage.
Yeah.
I think we earned 34 euros or something on YouTube that are still on the platform because I never filled out all those forms. So that knows it itself. On Instagram and TikTok, so what we cannot do is, for example, say we record a song, take Believer as an example, we cannot put our version as the sound in the background. Mm-hmm. Because we don't have the rights for that. But if you hear groups sing live in the room together and it's just the sound of the video itself, then it's no problem. But you cannot make money with it. Like we don't earn a single cent with all this. We just have it.
Yeah, I don't know. We aren't monetized either. It was just like they delete the audio in a live performance.
I know you can in other countries. Like it's different in each country. I know people who do it in the US. Their works. I also know people somewhere in Serbia or somewhere on the Balkan countries where it's different. I just know for us, we don't make a single cent with it. The only benefit we get is like our name out, and we also get bookings, like people ask us like, hey, I've seen you there, could you perform at our company's Christmas party or something? So it has kind of like other benefits in the long run.
Yeah. We just have, we can't get the audio. We're not monetized at all. Yeah. It just cuts the audio up. So
right, exactly.
All of our preview videos are just like, silent because you can't put any music.
But maybe I'm not perfectly informed anymore, and I will learn something else tomorrow. But I try to recheck every year with somebody from we have like Austromechana, which is like taking care of all the licensing and copyrights in Austria. So I try to recheck with them every year.
don't know.
It was a little scary for me too, so I tried to ask and be as correct as I can. Other questions? Yeah.
Do you have in different groups different social media managers? Who has the access to the Instagram, for example?
Just me and my other colleague, and here and there in the other group, somebody takes a fun video in a rehearsal, say, "Hey, Karin, there you go," and yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
So it's a little bit of like everybody contributes kind of thing. All right. So YouTube we got, Google we got. Okay, everybody. We go back here. Another one that we haven't haven't mentioned yet is Spotify. We actually made it there finally too. We had to found a label for that, and that's like all these things that I tried to tell you at the beginning. Like I had no idea about this. Like I'm not trained in it. I'm a music education teacher. I just like want to make music with people. If I had known all this like business, marketing, legal stuff, I probably would have never done what I'm doing. Honestly, I would have like run away as fast as I could. But you know, things come like in little steps, and then one day you think, oh, Spotify would be cool, and then you ask somebody, and then you learn a bit. What do you have to do to be able to put stuff on there? And I learned it by myself. You basically just found a label, a music label. You can do it as a person with a form, and then you need to find a distributor where you upload the music with all the background information stuff, and it's really easy. It's just like at first it feels so intimidating because you feel like everybody out there is so professional and they know everything what to do, and like I had no idea. But it's really working, and there's like 3,000 people now a month listening to our music. Like, that's awesome! And yeah, there with copyright, it's super easy because the distributor takes care of distributing, that's why they call like that, I think, distributing your music to all the platforms, but also distributing the money flow. So you get a little percentage for the streams, but you don't get anything for the song itself if it's not yours, but the original artist will get it. And it also gets checked, like when you upload it, you get a form like this, like, yeah, we are verifying all the information that you put in there, and actually people are listening to that, like, is it correct that this person wrote the song, this person wrote the lyrics, and then if everything's correct, then it gets released, and then the right people get the money, and we just get something for the streams, like the amount of streams, but that's the smaller part. We do have a few songs that are original, like we tried, at least here and there, to write some original choir music, and there you can see that you are left with much more money. I think right now we are earning 16 euros a month. So to produce one song, like the way we do it, is about 1,000. So you see, it's not a very great business model, but we exist and we try to do it just because, you know, nowadays it's cool if you are there. And actually, choir singers run around like, we are on Spotify, and like, okay, it's worth it. So we try to do it here and there a little bit, just because. Okay, so now we will move fast, and I think I can do that in 7 to 8 minutes. So about the registration process, I want to show you something, because I wasn't aware of that at all myself. So my choir members told me that they sometimes signed up for my group rather than another group, because for us they only had to fill out an online form, and for other groups they would have to write an email. And I was like, really? Oh, what's that? You see something else than I do. That's not nice. So, I know, yeah, exactly. So we do have an online form. It's German and English, and just asks some basic things. For which group do you want to be? If you want to do an audition, when do you want to do an audition? Or are you a group without auditions? What's your vocal range? Have I ever sung in a group? How did you find about us? I'm a student, just for the price, because they get a cheaper price. And down here is like all this like data protection, blah, 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 so that we are allowed to take pictures of them. And basically, why I'm showing you this is here, oh, that's not German. It says that the first rehearsal is just a triad. You don't have to pay nothing, you don't have to do anything, you just go to the first rehearsal then, which is on that and that given date. And then you have 1 week to let us know if you want to stay or not. No explanations needed. And the fact, like, I was really surprised that they said this was for some, especially the guys, a reason why they chose our choir. I don't have to write an email and say who I am. Like, really, that was the reason why I signed up for our group and not the, like, I don't know, technical university choir. I was like, okay, all right, why not? So I'm sharing this with you. And also, like, that it's another fact is we go per semester. So you can only start in September and March, because that's the Austrian semesters. Like, it might be different in other countries. So I'm doing this because I don't want to have this like come and go vibe all year round. I want to have a group that starts together in a half a year adventure and grows together as a group. But what they told me is I signed up because I felt like if I don't do it now, even though I want to, then I have to wait half a year. I was like, that makes sense. So to give them a deadline actually does a lot to, because otherwise they're like, maybe next week, maybe next month. Oh, there's a birthday party of my papa, maybe the week after. And so the fact to have very specific now, or you gotta wait, that does something, which I wasn't aware of, but I found out. So maybe make yourself a little more rare, I guess. But so yeah, that's our form, and that's it. We got this here completely covered. Yeah, so first part we talked about no influence, find a group. We talked about visibility in a presentation. Sign up and try it, make it as easy as possible. Stay in the group. Yeah, so you showed up. How do we make you love us immediately? So an interesting thing is this choir platform format that we have. Just real quick, a friend of mine is from Istanbul. Her name is Başak. So completely different cultural background and choir world happening there. But she did the same thing. So she had one group at first. And then she was like, oh, I do another one that is like a beginners and I want to turn into an advanced. And then what starts to happen is that people see a little, I don't know, career or like cycle there. Because, for example, oh, the one group is on Mondays, but all of a sudden I can't on Mondays anymore. Ah, the other one is on Wednesday. Okay, I can shift group. Or, oh, okay, now I did this level for such a long time. Maybe one day I can go to the advanced one. And then they start to circle around. And that's actually really a big thing. I know it's not possible for everybody, but for example, if you have a group and just think about maybe like a beginners or tryout or super easy format that is maybe an hour before the other one, that could start something very huge. And I know three other conductors who tried that just with a 1 hour before the other rehearsal thing, and it immediately worked for everywhere, for the US, for Istanbul, for Hungary, and for Vienna. And so maybe something like that could be also nice. Organic growth, I told you the story how everything happened. Listen to crazy ideas, fun ideas, what's out there and what people are interested in. Singers participation, so like I said, a colleague is doing the social media, another one helps us to create the learning tracks, and so I have in total 45 singers helping with small tasks. And of course what happens is it's like we call ourselves the voice family because so many people are doing little stuff and it gets like this really cool atmosphere if we're doing this together, and that's awesome. Low commitment triad formats, like I told you, you come to the first rehearsal and then you say, okay, I'm done, and you are out again without any further questions. Something like that where they feel like you got nothing to lose if you give it a shot. Standard repertoire choices and concert formats, I'll come to that in a second. And group bonding activities and mentors. So group bonding activities is something that most choirs do. Like we go on a weekend here, or I don't know, we have a campfire there, or whatever. But put it on your social media and on your homepage, because so many people actually join a choir, not only for, especially guys, not for like, oh, I love this song so much and it's so fun to sing that with my best friends, but like more for like, I want to meet new people in my town or something. And especially the guys said they stand up because they saw that it's more than just singing. Singing was nice, but not the main aspect necessarily. So put that out there. And yeah, so much about that. So it's a little more specific, but it might be inspirational for you. Does anybody have a question about this here? No. Is there anything that you feel like you could maybe implement in your doings? Yeah. I never made it to the concert promotion. I don't know if that's an interesting topic for you. Is anybody interested in concert promotion? Shall I give it 3 minutes? Okay. Anybody wants to run? I don't feel mad at you if you do. Okay, so, yay! If we're talking about a concert in the 21st century, where we want a young person to feel like cool being in the concert, or somebody who is not a choir singer feel like, oh, I need to go to this choir concert, then you need a little bit of that vibe, obviously. Because this is what, you know, people socialize in musically, like on a personal level. Like, what concerts are young people going to? They go to Taylor Swift and Adele and here and there, and everywhere you got like this vibe. And then you think about a choir concert, and all of a sudden it's like a completely different experience maybe. So what we are trying to do, I'm not saying this is the only way, absolutely not, but what we are trying to do is a little bit to get that vibe. So that's my last thing here, yeah? Then we're done. The next one, look, is this. So, obviously you wanna like who is in the concert. If you want a concert that gets attended by a lot of people, then it's very helpful to have a lot of who's on stage. What do I mean? We started having bigger concerts by having multiple choirs in one concert. Like do a concert with 2 groups or 3 groups or a group from another town and book a bigger venue than you could fill yourself. Just think about it. It's incredibly powerful. And then you don't have to practice 17 songs in half a year, but you're good with like 6 songs, which is much more comfortable for your new members who have to learn those songs too. And you get more audience. So think about working together with us where don't be scared of booking really cool kind of, I don't know, hipster or modern venues, even if they are not for free. I had no idea about event organization. I swear to God, I really didn't. To get an online platform for online ticketing is like, I don't know, signing up for a gym class online nowadays. It's really easy to do your own ticketing and find a really cool venue that your singers are proud of because that's their music world. It can be not even that big as long as it's kind of cool and has a few cool lighting effects and maybe a little bit of sound engineering that makes your concert feel a little bit about like, you know, what they would go to usually. And the repertoire, of course, is choice. Concert formats, be creative with concert formats. Like then now what I want to do is like a dance concert. Like each choir has to choose 4 songs that everybody feels like I want to dance to it. And I booked actually a club and it will be complete, wow! And they are so excited about it because it's something different. Or we tried sing-along concerts where the first half is a concert and the second half the whole audience sings along. And it's really, really fun and complete different group again that shows up to those. And so play a little bit with formats. The overall experience of show is what I just said. Make it feel like the right picture. And promotion strategies, don't be afraid of using ads. Like Google ads, Facebook ads. I usually invest, I don't know, 1 or 2 concert tickets, let's say 60 euros or 70 euros over a month to put out an ad. And I found out it works much better if you have a little video. Like make a 20-second promotion video, give it 70 euros and put it out. It's super easy and it does a lot. And I really experimented with it, like having it, not having it, not having it first, having it for 2 weeks, not having it. And it's very obvious that it works. And it's not a lot of money, But it reaches different people that are not the best friend of the singer in the second row, or the mama of that comes to every concert anyways, no matter if you have a fly or a title or where it is. And so, yeah, use Google Ads and Facebook ads for promotion, and also for promoting your group for new members. That's super little money, and in the choir world, nobody does it yet, somehow. I don't understand why, but if I type in Vienna choir, we are always the only ones that are sponsored at the beginning of the semester. I'm like, okay. And I invested 10 euros, and I made it from Google page 6 to 1 with 10 euros. Like, okay, I'll take it. So don't be afraid of that, and just go bold. It pays back, and I had no idea about this, and now I'm doing concerts where it's like huge money streams going on, and it's doable if you just go a little step every time, and then you end up maybe one day with something like that, and it's like, yeah, we did this. All right, so I told you. Here it is. Whoops. Where's my mouse? Oh, I don't have a touch screen. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Like I said, I'm a musician, I'm an artist. I would have loved to talk about music, but I got asked to talk about that. And it made me realize a lot, and I hope there was a little bit in there that you are able to use, and feel free to ask me anything, and have a wonderful evening, and just come over.
Are you going to show us maybe a short video of your choir, because I'm so excited about it.
Well, yeah, sure.
Röportaj yapacakmışız.
We are doing all kinds of stuff. What do you want to see?
Dua Lipa song.
Dua Lipa song. Oh yeah.
First video.
Yeah, we do have two versions. That's actually the cool one. That's our girls group. Oh, the sound is off. That's our girls group a year ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Yeah, everything. Yes, a little bit. Yeah. So we just have a WhatsApp.